Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. From the Jamborees to the Superdome, your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Voisin.
Good evening and welcome to the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. I'm your host, Cade Voisin, along with Coach Todd Black, Coach Jimmy Roy, and our cast of thousands here on non-select quarterfinal weekend, select semifinal weekend in the Louisiana High School football playoffs. You know, it's interesting, guys, as we enter this week, because you remember certain benchmarks that happen in other sports that remind us of where we are and how wacky 2020 has been. We're always in the Superdome when the Army-Navy game is playing. I know we always kind of catch it on the back half of that Saturday, and I was thinking this weekend they were advertising the Army-Navy game, thinking that's just another thing that reminds me. We're normally in the Superdome right now. We're normally getting ready for the championships. It's so odd.
Did they postpone the Heisman? Because that's when we normally –
Correct, yeah. It's normally the same weekend. I don't believe it is this weekend.
No, they've backed it up. I don't even know when it is. Call Joe Burrow. He might be passing it out. They don't have nothing else to do right now.
I tell you what, interesting. Last week, if you joined us, and you can watch everything, of course, on demand at our 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. We'll be getting our CST audience joining us here shortly. But Mr. Bonine sat in with us from the LHSA, and he said they did have a Plan B in place. And, well, they enacted that Plan B, and state championships will be held on the campus of Northwestern State University in Natchitoches, and it is at a different date. It's the 27th through the 30th, where originally it was on the day after Christmas on the 26th. I assume they're trying to space things out. We don't know as of yet. I'm sure we'll know pretty soon when the actual championships are on what days, but they are spreading that over the course of 4 days, and it will be in Natchitoches. And what I called in the pre-game show, a proactive approach. I think they had to make a decision before it was kind of made for them or before things were in a bind for them.
Absolutely. The mayor this past week reduced the Saints from around, 15,000, Todd, to 3,000. So
about a day after Bonine did what he did.
Correct. So they're going to obviously probably reduce it even further. A good move by the LHSAA. They're going to be allowed to have probably around 4,500 to 5,000 people up there. Definitely a good move. It's a place that the LHSAA is familiar with. In President Maggio at Northwestern State, they have that working relationship. It was the obvious choice to go to it. Again, they're going to spread it out over 4 days instead of 3. That has to do with the travel the day after Christmas, I believe, is the main reason they didn't want teams traveling on Christmas Day.
Well, I think the LHSA has that concern too with their staff.
Their staff, right. And they're not going to set the schedule until they know who's in it. They're going to try to maximize the attendance for whoever it is, whatever classification. It could be any day of the week. Another thing coming out of the LHSAA this week, Todd, is a reclassification is a 2-year deal. This was supposed to be a reclass year. They're going to postpone that for one other year, mainly, I think, due to the hurricanes.
Right, displaced students.
Displaced students.
So that will be in effect for the 2022 season is what you're saying.
Right. So usually what you do, Cade, is you schedule a 2-year schedule and contract in your 2-year district. This year they're going to remain with the districts they've had this year and last year, the last 2 years, and then they're going to turn around and give it one more year.
Do you retain what you would have had in non-district this year, next year? Like the games you didn't get to play?
You can't.
I don't know what that third district, because unless they continue with the 2, I don't know.
It's going to be a 1-year non-district schedule is what it's going to be.
Gotcha.
So, something else to consider, there were a lot of people saying, why wouldn't you pick something more centrally located like ULL? So when I went and looked at championships, cities bid on championships. There was only one championship in Lafayette, and that's golf. So they may not have been interested, but location has never been the top priority when picking championships, or they wouldn't be in the cities that they're in. Lake Charles has got baseball, got softball. It's not centrally located, but that's the best place to have it. And, the frustration comes is anything they do out of the LHSA office is second guess. Now, we've been those second guessers in the past when we felt that was hurting the kids, right? When Kenny Henderson was making bonehead decisions. But now this is like he's being proactive, as Cade says, making sure the kids have a place to play.
It's a turf field.
Right.
So you look at the conditions and that kind of stuff.
And, Cade, you bring up turf field. They have had so many people on social media thinking, why not LSU? You have to have a turf field. Can you imagine what we had 2 Fridays ago and have it for the state championship weekend, which is very likely at that time of the year. You don't know the weather. It's not ideal conditions regardless. And playing game 4, 5, or 6, 7, 8, 9 on that type of field. Look at what happened with Woodlawn's high school field just in one game. It was destroyed.
The East St. John game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of turf, I know that Ruston was on turf, and I do believe Curtis and Bird were on turf, and it was a monsoon, and it was still difficulty holding on to the football.
Right.
And low-scoring games because of it. None of their – and honestly, one of them I'm kind of surprised about. We're going to get to the scores in just a second without giving that away. But, yeah, a couple of crazy games up in North Louisiana tonight.
Let's go ahead and get us caught up on what's happened, what we have reported. Got pretty much all of them in so far tonight. But you can follow along if you're watching on YouTube, the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. And very soon our audience will be joining us on CST. But right now, let's get you caught up. We'll start first on the non-select side, starting with Class 5A.
Acadiana over Mandeville 21-0. Destrehan shuts out Ruston 6-0. Alexandria over Zachary 31-28. And West Monroe 27, East St. John 8. Carencro defeats Clackman 81-14. Neville shuts out Menden 27-0. Warren Easton defeats Tioga 62-27. Edna Carr 40, Eunice 7. Madison Prep 27, Jennings 20. Church Point 14, St. James 7. Lake Charles College Prep in overtime defeats Gina 28-26. Union Parish 47, St. Martinville 6. Class 2A, Manny over Amite 34-30. General Trask over St. Helena College Prep 42-18. In double overtime, Kinder defeats Loreauville 21-14. And Mangum over Port Allen 35-19. In 1A, Oak Grove 67, Logansport 14. Homer over White Castle 18-13. Grand Lake over Centerville 27-6. And East Iberville over Haynesville 25-15. Select Division 1. Catholic of Baton Rouge 49, Brother Martin 31. C.E. Bird 14, John Curtis 13. Select Division 2. De La Salle 42, Edie White 2. St. Thomas More 31, University Lab 23.
The Select Division III playoff bracket, presented by Livingston Parish Councilman Gary Talbot.
Lafayette Christian 21, Isidore Newman 7, and St. Charles 24, Notre Dame 22.
The Select Division IV playoff bracket, brightened by Musco Lighting.
Calvary Baptist 24, Southern Lab 14, and in overtime, Ouachita Christian 36, Vermilion Catholic 34.
Thank you, Skip. Thank you, Ryan and Danny, producing the audio and video portion of tonight's broadcast. We will make mention of our Musco Lighting Student Athlete of the Week. We will certainly get you caught up with a couple of victorious head coaches. Neville Tigers pick up a win on early round 3 action last night. The weather certainly was a factor in North Louisiana tonight, as it was, I guess, kind of getting a little preemptive. I know Port Allen played last night. I don't know if that was weather related.
Both of those moved up.
Yeah. Good move by both of them with what ended up happening tonight in Shreveport area.
So we will look forward to, I believe we're going to chat with Coach Tannehill when we get back and talk about that win. We'll show you some of the highlights as well. You are listening, you're watching to Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
Hey T-Bob, sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans, so we're highlighting the fans that do it the most.
Every week, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out, 1045ESPN.com.
It's the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
You may not know about the 4Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4Kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4Kids helps kids through golf.
The Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Voisin, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. We appreciate our friends at Hooters who feed us each and every week. Our Hooters is the one on College Drive, but here in the Baton Rouge area, you've got College Drive, Segan Lane, and out in Denham Springs off Range. There's always a Hooters near you. If you're home gating this year because of things that are going on in 2020, make sure to include our friends at Hooters and hootersoflouisiana.com. Looking at trying to get on a guest here, but we can certainly look at some of the early action from playoff round 3. Neville was victorious 27-0 over Minden. Port Allen falls short. Coach Gibson, we had a chance to speak with him last week. One of the cool stories about what he's done over there at Port Allen, getting things turned around.
Been there, 2 years, and the progress that he's made in that short time, he's got that program headed in the right direction. So, yeah, you look at it, it's a quarterfinal loss for Port Allen. I think that's their second time in the quarterfinals, if I'm not mistaken, without digging through my notes. But it's a team, in a program that's just trending upwards, and you got to like what they're doing over there.
How about the West Bank in general? Bruley,
Hall Schooler over there. Obviously Plaquemine took one on the chin to a very, very, very good Karen Crow team tonight, but Coach DiStefano, not only West Bank, Iberville Parish
as a whole.
You go to White Castle, you go to East Iberville. White Castle loses a close one tonight. East Iberville with a win over traditionally rich Haynesville. Homer ends up slipping by White Castle in a close one, 18-13, 18-15, something like that. That whole side has done really well. You got Coach Semino over there. Livonia made the playoffs. That side of the river has fared really well.
And you talk about coaches, and we talk about success of teams. Go back to Port Allen for a second. Been there a couple of years now, getting that quarterfinal appearance. You've got to, as an administration, have that patience. There's so much, I think, in this day and age, win now. It's all that matters. There's so much of a process that has to take place. Sometimes it kind of becomes a cliche statement, but you're changing a culture. You're trying to get these kids to buy into what you believe. It takes some time, and you're seeing it. Sometimes you have those coaches that have that 1 year flash. They have success early, but no, they're still building that process, and then all of a sudden becomes, if you don't get to that point again, I just feel there's so many levels of expectation. You got to give coaches time.
When you talk to high school coaches with new jobs and things like that, one of the biggest things they're going to tell you is recruiting your hallways. And when you can get those other guys from other sports, and I'm going to give you a perfect example, Quincy Wiggins at Madison Prep.
Yeah.
It's his first year. The kid's 6'7", probably 250, 260. First year of playing football. They talked him to come out from basketball, and already he's got offers from Louisville, I think maybe Texas. Several of the Power 5 schools are recruiting this guy. So you got to get those kids out to buy into your system.
But I even think it goes deeper than that. You talk about the administration. The administration has got to give you the tools to be able to do your process or run your process. That means they need to give you coaches. They need to give you all of the things to help you win. You can get all the kids out in the hallway if you want to. If you ain't going to win, they ain't going to stay there for long.
Absolutely.
So the administration these days, you have to question, are they that committed to athletics? And I think with the LHSAA, the membership is the principals or are the principals. And over time, they come from more of the academia side than they do from the athletic side, so they don't value sports as much.
That's right.
So that's where
we've talked forever. Back in the day when we were coming up, basically ex-coaches became the principals of the schools, and they ran them, and they ran them with an iron fist, and they had discipline in the school, in the hallways. And now a lot of times you have people who's never been involved with sports getting to the administrative positions. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but they also don't understand that side of it.
Well, Coach Valdez also got got the basketball player out. This is the all-world DN now.
Savion Jones is committed to LSU. Look, I'm going to tell you this. I've seen a little bit of Savion. We both have in the last couple of years. I'm going to go out on a limb saying he is going to be an All-American at LSU, and he's going to be a first, second-round draft pick. This kid is phenomenal. He's big. He's fast. He's lean. He's going to put on mass. He's going to get in the weight room. He hasn't even scratched the surface of how good he's going to be. he's one of those guys, and I don't even know what star he is. Honestly, I don't pay attention to any of that bull. He could be a 4 or 3. I don't know. But he has the potential that I really like to watch progress. And be patient. May not be your first year there. No big deal, guys. You can go to college. It's okay not to play your first year and set records and stuff. Be calm. But he's going to be an All-American, I think, at LSU. He's unbelievable.
So I think we can take a break and come back. Marcus Scott from Destrehan, victorious tonight, will be ready to talk.
We'll give you scores right when we get back and join Marcus Scott as well. This is round 3, playoff edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
This was us 20 years ago. Since then, we've grown to over 200 employees. We've helped over 100,000 people purchase, build, renovate, or refinance. Over $17 billion in loans. We make the mortgage process easy and convenient. Apply online or at one of our local branches. If you're looking to buy, build, renovate, or refinance, go to gmfsmortgage.com to see how we can help change your life today.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
The Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Class 5A Playoff Bracket, presented by Livingston Parish Councilman Gary Talbot.
Acadiana over Mandeville 21-0. Destrehan shuts out Ruston 6-0. Alexandria over Zachary 31-28. West Monroe over East St. John 27-8.
Class 4A Playoff Bracket, pumped by Peak Performance.
Carencro over Plaquemine 81-14. Neville shuts out Mendon 27-0. Warren Easton 62, Tioga 27, and Edna Carr 40, Eunice 7.
Class 3A Playoff Bracket, strengthened by Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Madison Prep over Jennings 27-20. Church Point over St. James 14-7. In overtime, Lake Charles College Prep 28, Gina 26, and Union Parish 47, St. Martinville 6.
Class 2A Playoff Bracket, brightened by Musco Lighting.
Manny over Amite 34-30. General Trask over St. Helena 42-18. In double overtime, Kinder over Lauraville 21-14. Mangum 35, Port Allen 19.
Class 1A Playoff Bracket, backed by GMFS Mortgage.
Oak Grove defeats Logansport 67-14. Homer over White Castle 18-13. Grand Lake over Centerville 27-6. And Haynesville or East Iberville 25, Haynesville 15.
The Select Division I Playoff Bracket, brightened by Musco Lighting.
Catholic of Baton Rouge 49, Brother Martin 31. And C.E. Bird 14, John Curtis 13.
The Select Division II Playoff Bracket, strengthened by Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
De La Salle 42, Edie White 2. And St. Thomas More 31, University Lab 23.
The Select Division III Playoff Bracket, presented by Livingston Parish Councilman Gary Talbot.
Lafayette Christian over Isidore Newman 21-7. And St. Charles defeats Notre Dame 24-22.
The Select Division IV Playoff Bracket, backed by GMFS Mortgage.
Calvary Baptist over Southern Lab 24-14. And in overtime, Washita Christian 36, Vermilion Catholic 34.
Thanks so much to Skip, but behind the scenes, Charlie, Will, Dustin, and everyone helping us gather up the scores throughout the night. You're watching Louisiana Prep Scoreboard. It's presented by Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours. We appreciate their support all season long, being the title sponsor of our program. We jump on the GMFS Mortgage Hotline, and we're joined by a victorious head coach, Marcus Scott from Destrehan. They get to win tonight on the road against Ruston 6-0. And Coach, I'd imagine at this point in the season, you take them as however you can get them. 6-0 advances you to the semifinals. Congratulations! Tell us about this ball game.
Thank you. Well, we so proud of the kids and the assistant coaches. They really had them prepared, and the kids they played so hard and they executed the game plan. And Ruston was a team that was scoring a lot of points, and we challenged the kids, and there was a lot of talk this week about us not being able to match their physical style of play. Right. And quite frankly, the kids were insulted by it. And so we kind of came out with a chip on our shoulder and wanted to come out and prove that we could play that style of football.
Coach, you also came out with a chip on your shoulder in 2018 when I was a part of that Dutchtown staff, and we came over to John Ehret, and it was like 20 degrees with a 90-mile-an-hour wind chill. And it was like 43-0. Your defense has been strong.
That was not a fun night. It was freezing.
I agree. Talk a little bit about your defense. I mean, that's the side of the ball you come from. They're strong. I think you're holding teams under 10 points a game, and tonight another shutout.
Look, the defensive staff. I mean, those So the coaches prepared the kids, and I'm gonna tell you, we have a lot of kids on this defense who has played in big games. We have multiple kids who's played in double-digit playoff games. And that experience pays off. When you have a Tyler Martin and a Dylan Gibbs and a Kelvin Lee, these kids have played in the Superdome. They've been to the semifinals, before. So it's not being on the road in a quarterfinal and in this type of program. It was a challenge for them, but it wasn't a situation where they were overwhelmed. It was just we need to buckle down and play assignment football.
Coach Jimmy Roy here, and congratulations on the win. You're right. A lot of people questioned whether you could match the physicality run game of Ruston with Hargrove, Lil Bull back there, who's put up phenomenal numbers all year long. But you were able to do that. Week 1, you go back to St. Paul's, you lose that game. Since that time, now you've won 10 in a row. Was there something that stood out in Week 1 that really turned your season around that early in the year, or was it just a slow progress?
Well, I think it was a couple things. The first thing is, we tell the kids, hey, we're one half away from having an undefeated season, and we were in control of that ball game in the first half, and then the second half we had 2 costly turnovers that in our own territory on kickoff returns that really gave them short fields. And the second part of that was, give St. Paul's credit because they had a lot to do with us not playing well in the second half. But the second part of that was we didn't truly have an identity at that time. We were still playing with 4 wide receivers, and then we just got together the staff the next day and realized, I said, hey, listen, guys, we got to decide who we're going to be. We got 2 big backs, and we have a young offensive line with 4 new starters, but they have some size and they're aggressive. So we need to be able to run the ball and protect our sophomore quarterback and be able to hit the quick game and play action off of the running game. And so once we established that, things turned around.
Spoken like a true defensive head coach.
Yeah. Well,
because you want to get that clock running.
He's right, because Razan, how you say his name, Coach Keller?
Razan, yeah.
Razan, he is a tree trunk trying to tackle. He is very physical. I don't know how fast he is in the open field, but in high school, he's a load. And Todd, you've talked about this. As a high school kid, if you're a 170-pound linebacker or whatever, you get tired of tackling those guys in the third and fourth quarter, and they're able to do that because their defense, like you said, they're giving up only 10.4 a game right now.
Coach, we used to get mad at Jeremy Hill at Redemptors when he would give those DBs a free shot and run out of bounds. I was like, dude, if you ever run out of bounds again, you ain't getting the ball. I said, you got to punish those guys because eventually they're going to get out of the way, right?
Well, eventually, look, y'all know, you just said it is when you have to, you get 3, you get 4, and listen, it's not a crime to punt. If you have to punt and play field position, so be it. But what you don't want to do is give the ball to the team by making mistakes. And so, once we establish the run game and then the play action stuff which leads to the RPO game and all that stuff, and then, hey, if they stop us, we punt, we play field position, we play defense.
Coach, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, and that's basically what we had to establish after the St. Paul's game.
Well, real quick before we go to break, got about 2 minutes left. Rematch, obviously, with Acadiana. It's a semifinal round this year. At Acadiana last year was an 8-3, just a straight-up street fight in the state championship game. Give us your thoughts real quick on that.
Well, look, Acadiana.
They're Acadiana, right?
They're who they are, and they deserve all the respect and praise that that people give to them. They've earned it, and they deserve it. And until somebody beats them, they're still the champions. And so, the best part about it is the kids are looking forward to the challenge. So it's not. We have a ton of respect for Acadiana, and and every opponent that we face. But it's another chance to compete on a big stage. And before this season, guys, we didn't know we were going to be able to play at all.
That's
so
right.
we're truly thankful to have opportunity to be able to field the team and compete with these kids. It's a special group.
Right. Coach, two storied programs, Cade, facing off next week in the semifinal with a chance to go to Northwestern State University. That sounds kind of weird, but Coach, congratulations and good luck next week.
Be safe on the way back.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
When you look at the 5A bracket, guys, and from top to bottom in the semifinals, you got a pretty diverse setting from Louisiana. Because I know I'll direct our listeners to Todd's some great opinion pieces he put on Louisiana Prep's On Demand section. You got the best of Acadiana. You got one of the best River Parish teams. You got Central Louisiana represented and North Louisiana represented. Pretty wide spanning rinks of the state. And in that semifinal matchup, two teams that just shut out their opponents. So defensively, pretty strong.
Right. When you look at the Destrehan, Acadiana, those are, like I said, two-story programs, played in the state finals last year. They're going to meet in the semifinals this year. And Acadiana beat a good Mandeville team. Mandeville was going in allowing 10.7. It's 21-0. That's the lowest Mandeville had allowed since, I think the year 2000. Ruston was expected to win tonight, even though the seed said Destrehan was a 5 and Ruston was 13. I think a lot of people expected Destrehan. Ruston. I'm not taking anything away from them. We don't know how much the weather affected that.
Well, Destrehan's good up front.
Oh, defensively,
they're very strong up front.
Yeah, Destrehan going in, like I said, 10.4. Defense travels. Defense shows up in bad weather. Sometimes offense struggles day to day, but defense always wins out. Alexandria beating Zachary was a little bit of a surprise. This was their first 5A a quarterfinal appearance in 5A. Obviously, will be their first semifinal appearance. They will host West Monroe, which West Monroe won earlier in the year, I think 18-10 or 18-12. But Thomas Bachman, in his 5th year up there at Alexandria, has done a phenomenal job. You got a 3-year starter in Judd Barton at quarterback. You have the wide H-back, tight end / whatever you want to call him, Shield Taylor, who's a Stanford commit. I was very impressed with Alexandria tonight.
I was too, and they never got away from their game plan. They were down 21-10, and they had been very generous with a couple of turnovers, but they kept running zone. They'd pull a couple guys, and they just were very methodical with what they did. And obviously they took some shots in the second half, but I was very impressed with not only the staff but the kids. They kept their composure, and to come to Zachary and to pull that off is a big deal for them.
And you heard Coach Scott there in the interview. When young men get questions about their physicality, there's going to be the idea of like, hey, you want to be physical with us? We're going to go out there. Not questions about it, but can we be tough enough against their guys? And I think they came out, you mentioned, with a chip on their shoulder and made it happen.
Here's the one thing that I read this week that concerned me a little bit. Coach Ball had put, if we win this game, we're going to put ourselves back in the elite of the state where they were a couple of years back.
21 years ago.
And I felt, oh my gosh, don't look at it that way. I just didn't want, you just play your game and don't put that added pressure on that team. Just go out and do what you do and see how it goes.
Kyle Williams is a defensive coordinator now. He was a freshman in high school the last time that Ruston had made it to the semifinals, and that was in 1999.
Quick story about him. He donated a lot to rebuild the Ruston weight room. They put a mural on him of him on it to surprise him. What did he tell him to do?
Take it down.
Told him to take it down. He said, this ain't about me. He said, please take it down. I appreciate what you're doing, but class act.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see Alexandria and West Monroe in round 2. That's going to be this one. Instead of Alexandria having to go to West Monroe, Alexandria is going to host as the number 6 seed and West Monroe as a 10 seed. So that I
hear you. I hear you.
It's not going to surprise me at all if Alexandria upsets West Monroe. Even though seeding wise it wouldn't be an upset, I'm kind of pulling for Alexandria in this one. I love Coach Bogdan.
In Division 2, the final is De La Salle and St. Thomas More, and I believe when we get back, we'll be joined by De La Salle head football coach Ryan McNally to talk about that matchup in a couple of weeks in Natchitoches. You're watching and listening to the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
Hey, football fans, T-Bomb here, reminding you that Hooters is your headquarters for football. If you can't get in, they still got the Hooters girls, the TVs, the wings, the beer, everything you love about game day. But what if you're watching at your house, maybe having some people over, you don't feel like cooking? Well, great, Hooters, they have your back. You download the Hooters app, you'll get a free app, and then you go and you pick up the food, you bring it home. Everybody loves you because you got Hooters wings, and game day, it's a match made in heaven. Download the app, get Hooters to go. Hooters, your headquarters for football.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
Toyotathon is happening right now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Get into a 20 Camry for $297 a month. Come on down to Happy Town for Toyotathon. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
You may not know about the 4Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4 kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4Kids helps kids through golf, because every child deserves a shot at a brighter future.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
The Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Voisin, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. Before we get to hour 2, where we will certainly continue the show all the way to midnight, we want to catch up on the GMFS Mortgage Hotline with Victoria's head coach from De La Salle. It is head coach Ryan McNally joining us. Coach, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Congratulations on the win against the Cardinals.
Yeah, no, it's great to be on the show. Thank you for all you guys do. It's an exciting night for De La Salle High School and an impressive win by our football team.
Coach, let's start with the defense this year. I know a lot of people talk about Montrell Jackson and Johnson and your running back group and those guys, but defensively, it's 6.1 points allowed, 3 shutouts. The most points you've given up all year long was 17 last week. Before that, I forget what it was, but the defense has been outstanding. Jamarian Peterson leads that front on the defensive line. Talk about that group as a whole.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Mama.
Coach.
Hello.
Coach.
We'll try to reconnect with Coach. There is a lot of excitement behind
they
a
weren't talking
semifinal
Daddy.
win.
I mean,
I didn't know if his mom calling or what.
I think he's real excited about that big win over De La Salle, but you're touching on something, though. This time of year, defenses are what get people to the championships. We just talked Destrehan and De La Salle's defense is just as good, you know?
When you look at it, okay, let's be honest with in 5A, Acadiana, they advanced. They're giving up 10.7.
Incredible defense.
Destrehan, they advanced. They're giving up 10.4. Alexandria advances. They're giving up 10.7. Let's move to the last one. West Monroe advances. They're giving up 11.4 points a game. So, yeah, defense, especially in 5A, all the guys giving up 11, 12 points or lower are doing that. Coach, did you hear our question about your defense? You're giving up 6.1 points a game. Obviously, that's going to go down. Most points you've given up all year long was 17 last week to Turlings. Talk about your defense.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure where I got cut off, but hats off to our defensive coaches and the players for executing the game plan. Our defense has been fabulous all year for the most part. And I just think we have guys that understand how to execute game plans, and I have coaches that I trust fully. And when you prepare for that double slot option in a week and you haven't seen it since 2015-16, it's good to know that I don't have to stick my nose in there and just trust Coach Jack Law and his staff and those players, especially my seniors, for executing.
Coach, if you had to point to one thing, and by the way, we appreciate you coming on the show. Your interview or time with us has been long overdue, and we apologize for that. But the consistency from De La Salle under you as being a head coach has been as good as you'll find. What do you kind of attribute that to?
I really think the culture of our program. I think it all starts with the discipline and the details that we are with our administration and how we are in a school building. The relationships that we have with just people, and the culture that we have of just being accountable, high character young men. Detailing our discipline constantly, and that all gives us the ability to lead on in a humble, hungry way, and that's kind of who we are. And I think that our success off the field and in the classroom carries over on the field. And then, it took a couple of years for them to understand that. I think our kids are all in, and we have some good young men. There's no doubt about it. And I'm fortunate to have a good staff with me. But it takes quality kids and quality people running your school. That's what we have at De La Salle High School for success.
Coach, you mentioned not having to worry about your defensive staff, not having to get involved there. You trust that they were going to prepare the right way going up against this team. I know that, a good coach's role is being able to delegate and being able to assign, to manage. It seems like you have a good trust with your coaching staff. You can kind of assign these things out, trust that what's going on outside of where you are is being done the correct way, and it seems to pay off on Friday nights.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. So, I'm fortunate to have Coach Eddie Jackalaw as my defense coordinator. I was fortunate to work with him for 13 years at Rummel High School, and then was able to get him, and he's been with me now for 4 years. And, I really think he's one of the best to do it. It's really good where I don't have to, sit there and worry or listen too much about what's going on in defense. And then, also on the special teams side, we pride ourselves in. I have a young coach, Coach Dan DeBoon, who does an excellent job there, and that gives me time to, focus on the offense, and you got to be able to have the right people, and I trust these guys, and our kids believe in us. Kids believe in the kid and the coaches.
Coach Ryan McNally joining us from De La Salle High School to get the win tonight over Edie White. Coach, congratulations on that win, man, and best of luck as you guys start the preparation for St. Thomas More.
Y'all don't party too much down there. That mayor going to put y'all in jail.
Thank you guys for having me, and it's great to be on your show. Thank you guys for everything you do for young athletes around the community.
Well, thank you,
Coach.
Thank you.
You know, last week, I know we have about a minute left. Last year, De La Salle, St. Thomas More played in the state championship. It's a rematch. It was a 58-10 win.
They've had some bad luck in the finals.
Yeah.
Playing some strong teams.
Real strong teams.
De La Salle's never won a state championship, and I didn't realize that until this year. But like you said, they played a U-High team that was just unbelievable. They beat STM, they beat De La Salle in those couple of years. Absolutely loaded. STM was absolutely loaded this year. 58-10 last year. I think it's going to be a very competitive game this year. Again, defense travels. It doesn't matter whether it's raining, snowing, sleeting, perfect weather, the wind's blowing or not, defense travels. Offense can always have a down day or a bad day. I give De La Salle a chance. Obviously, STM's the favorite in that one, but you got to give De La Salle a chance.
You know, with us covering so many teams, there's a lot right under our nose that we don't often give a lot of credit to. But Andy Martin and his staff did a phenomenal job this year. And they were right there in that football game with St. Thomas More. This score, I think, was 31-23, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
But congratulations to Coach Martin and U-High. And he's a great hire over there for them, and best of luck to them in the future.
That's another one. I honestly, that was a curious question to me. We got to go to break.
Pause.
Yeah, we'll go
take
to break.
more of that in the second half. This is the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard.
This was us 20 years ago. Since then, we've grown to over 200 employees. We've helped over 100,000 people purchase, build, renovate, or refinance. Over $17 billion in loans. We make the mortgage process easy and convenient. Apply online or at one of our local branches. If you're looking to buy, build, renovate, or refinance, go to gmfsmortgage.com to see how we can help change your life today.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
Toyotathon is happening right now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Get into a 20 Highlander for $4,600 off MSRP. Come on down to Happy Town for Toyotathon. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. and I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
The Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. From the Jamborees to the Superdome, your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Voisin.
Good evening and welcome to the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Voisin, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. It is hour 2 of the non-select quarterfinal night and select semifinal night. In just a couple of minutes, Neville High School head football coach Jeff Tannehill will join us to talk about their upcoming semifinal appearance, their win early on Thursday night. But first, we'll get you caught up on scores, and by doing so, we'll set the scene. Who's in the semis? Who's in the quarters? We'll start first in 5A with Skip.
Class 5A playoff bracket, presented by Livingston Parish Councilman Gary Talbot.
Destrehan will travel to Acadiana, and West Monroe will travel to Alexandria.
Class 4A playoff bracket, pumped by Peak Performance.
Neville will travel to the Open Air Crow Dome, and Warren Easton will travel to Edna Carr.
Class 3A playoff bracket, strengthened by Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Madison Prep will travel to Church Point, and Lake Charles College Prep will travel up north to Union Parish.
Class 2A playoff bracket, brightened by Musco Lighting.
General Trask will travel to Manny, and Mangum will host Kinder.
Class 1A playoff bracket, backed by GMFS Mortgage.
Homer will travel to Oak Grove, and Grand Lake will travel to East Iberville.
The Select Division I playoff bracket, brightened by Musco Lighting.
In the finals, we have Catholic Baton Rouge and C.E. Bird.
The Select Division II playoff bracket, strengthened by Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
De La Salle will play St. Thomas More.
The Select Division III playoff bracket, presented by Livingston Parish Councilman Gary Talbot.
Lafayette Christian, St. Charles Catholic.
The Select Division IV playoff bracket, backed by GMFS Mortgage.
Calvary Baptist and Ouachita Christian.
Thanks so much to Skip, to Will, to Charlie and Dustin, helping gather scores throughout the night. Thanks so much to Danny and Ryan producing tonight's program from a video and audio standpoint. To our listeners on CST and all those listening on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 104.9 FM, 98.1 HD2, or online or through the mobile app. As always, we appreciate you tuning in tonight. The road to Natchitoches continues tonight.
You're talking about a war. Ouachita Christian and Calvary. If you'll go back and remember that game in the semis last year, ooh, that's going to be something to watch.
Those are two very even comparable teams. You know, when you look at teams and you try to break them down, they mirror each other a lot. And we kind of expected that type of game. I expected OCS to win, and they pulled it out tonight.
Well, in early round 3 action, the Neville Tigers picked up a win 27-0 over Minden. Jimmy talked about it in the previous segment, defense travels, and it certainly did well for Neville. Coach Jeff Tannehill joins us. Coach, congratulations on the win. What an incredible job you guys in the semifinals. But, man, talk about that performance from your defense putting up a goose egg on Minden.
Well, thank y'all for having me on here. But, our defense played well all year. Wasn't a surprise. Anytime you have to play somebody twice in a year and beat them in the playoffs, especially a quarterfinal round like we did last night, it's a tougher job than it was. They played much better, much harder at home, and, they're a much improved team. So we had our work cut out for us. But our defense played lights out. Coach Lewis has done a tremendous job with those guys all year, and just proud to be moving on to the semi.
Coach, you look really fast on defense. There were some times y'all got to the ball and it was just that fourth down, matter of fact, I'll tell you, it's 4th and 2, you call timeout. They tried to run something and they lost like 4. It's fun to watch.
It's fun to watch our defense fly around. Our defensive ends, Dexter Walker, Myron Elam, and they really run the football. And then they do a really good job of taking on kick-out blocks. And then Hinton Roberts, he's a special player. He's a junior linebacker for us, 44. You'll see him all over the place. Watch him. And then Lane Blue's the other linebacker who's really come a long way at linebacker. And then we got a little old guy, Todd, and you know how Neville guys are. We've gone a long way for years and years with little old bitty guys. He's about 5'6", $150, and plays, that outside backer spot. And, it's just they run the football, and, our back end covers real well. So, we've had a lot of success this year with that, and hopefully we'll continue it next week.
Coach Tannehill, look, I know my good buddy Steven Sminger's texting me. He's over in Florida right now watching. And you got one of the top juniors in the country, and Will Campbell. Go ahead and send that boy down here. LSU needs him. We'll take him right now. I know that I'd make Coach Sminger's night, but when I mentioned offensive line, listening to one of your interviews last night, you weren't real happy with the way they played early in the game. You made a comment that it was expected that they kind of took it for granted because of how bad you had beat Minden earlier in the year.
It was. Like I said earlier, anytime you play somebody twice in 1 year, it's really hard the second time to beat them, especially if it's kind of deep in the playoffs. And I could just tell by the whole week that, our kids weren't really that focused. And, we spent all week trying to get them focused. And I just didn't think our offensive line came off like they did against Westgate the week before. And, we had a big talk after the game, letting them know from here on out, you can't. We oozed off the ball last night, and we didn't really come off the ball and drive people. And, it showed. It put our defense in a bind there for a little while. But, we started coming off the ball a little bit in the third quarter and popped a couple of them on them and then kind of put it away.
Have you found that that's kind of par for the course this year? I was talking with a well-respected coach this week.
What, average 1 week?
Yeah, just because of the way things have flowed, there hadn't been any continuity. I talked to a very well-respected coach, very successful coach, and he said, when you get to this time of year, it's typical for your teams to pick it up a notch. And this year, he just hadn't seen it in his team, and he contributed to no continuity. You're here, you're playing a week, you're off a week, you're playing a week, you're off 3 weeks, and then you're playing again. You don't know who you're playing week to week. And the mental aspect, he said he was really worried about his kids this week just because it wasn't like they were mentally ready. Have you seen that from your guys?
Well, I really, in the last 5 or 6 weeks, have not seen that at all with ours. We've been really focused. I think losing those games early, we lost a tough one to Ruston, and then we lost a tough one to West Monroe. And it just took, and me being new too early in the year, it took us a while to get everything going. And we really worked extremely hard on focusing at practice and learning everything, what to do, all the little things that make the team a whole lot better. And for 5 or 6 weeks, we've really done a good job of doing that. And I thought we played lights out against Westgate. And this week, knowing that we have beat Minden pretty bad the first time, and I just knew the effort wasn't really there. I could see it in the way they practiced, and we're going to have to do a really good job this week of getting refocused and getting ready to play a really good Karen Crow team.
Those penalties make you scratch your head a little bit, Bud?
I didn't hear what you said.
The penalties make you scratch your head a little bit?
Well, we've been penalized a little bit this year. We try to run fast on offense, and we really coach play to the whistle blows, and I think that's been misconstrued as some late hits and that kind of thing. But we've overcome those. Hopefully, we'll quit doing some of those. What I call them, not so smart mistakes. It just we've done some things that we're not typical of doing as a Neville team, but we're trying to clean that up every week. We got a lot better the other night against Minden, I felt like, and we still had a few too many penalties, but we got better this week with penalties and keeping our mouth closed and that kind of thing. So, hopefully next week we'll be a little cleaner.
Coach, work on how your receivers throw the football back to the referee.
I have it on video in slow motion.
That's just a terrible call, but that's what Todd was getting at. But,
yeah.
But Coach, congratulations, man. Big challenge next week. You're on the road. Number 4, Neville advances to play number 1, Karen Crow,
and you can see
that's
it.
going to be a great one.
You can see it on the Neville Tiger Network. Stuart Shelby, those guys do a great job. It's on YouTube, and Coach, I get to see every game these days.
I'm sorry, I lost you.
I said I get to see every game these days because of the Neville Tiger Network.
Yeah, well, they've really done a tremendous job. He and Bob, Robert Lane, and we've had tons of followers, and we're trying to do everything we can to get this out because of the COVID and everything. So they'll be on again next week, and I'm just glad you're watching, Ty.
Coach Tannehill, we appreciate your time tonight. Best of luck next week.
Thank y'all. All right.
Guys, the more things change throughout 2020, sometimes the more things stay the same when it comes to football in South Louisiana. 4A semifinals. Tell me if you've heard this one before. Neville, Warren Easton, Carr, all in that semifinal matchup. And you had Karen Crow in there, who's a really good football team. No matter how you slice it, that's 4A football in Louisiana. That's what we've seen.
On the top half, you're going to see Neville traveling to Karen Crow, 81-14 winner. The big thing with Coach Corville's group, they're running that veer, but they've done a really, really good job of limiting carries to their running backs. They're averaging about 11, 12 yards a carry. They've combined for over 2,000 yards. I think Warren Easton is a team that I think they lost to Carr and
EA. They were up 20-0
season.
Yeah, they were 0-2 to start the season. In their last 5 games going into tonight, they had allowed 1 touchdown. 4 out of the last 5, 0 points. Noel Ellis is their defensive coordinator, and they only start 2 seniors on their group on the defensive side. You have Sean Washington, the defensive tackle. He's an LSU offer, but they've won 7 straight.
That EA game was like a come-from-behind game. I mean, that was
they were up 20-0 in the fourth quarter in that game.
So I will tell you, since the split's been 8 years now with the semifinals coming up.
Wow.
Carr, Neville, and Warren Easton have been in the semifinals 7 of 8 years.
Wow.
So it's 5A's almost, it's like the same teams there, give or take here and there. Also, 1A, Oak Grove, same group.
Oak Grove's there.
But speaking of 1A, I think 11:15 we're going to have Jeff Wainwright of Grand Lake. And I think this is a cool story because landfall for 2 hurricanes were about 30 miles from his school within 6 weeks apart.
Huh?
Yeah. And how they are, where they are, the best.
Even having a season.
Yeah. And it's the best year in football they've had ever. They need it. That's when a community, I mean, what a perfect time, too, for that community.
Yeah, well, we look forward to that conversation when we return here on the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Voisin, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
You may not know about the 4Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4Kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4Kids helps kids through golf, because every child deserves a shot at a brighter future.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
The Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Class 5A Playoff Bracket, presented by Livingston Parish Councilman Gary Talbot.
Acadiana will host Destrehan, and West Monroe will travel to Alexandria.
Class 4A Playoff Bracket, pumped by Peak Performance.
Karen Crow will host Neville, and Warren Easton will travel to Edna Carr.
Class 3A Playoff Bracket, strengthened by Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Church Point will host Madison Prep, and Union Parish will host Lake Charles College Prep.
Class 2A Playoff Bracket, brightened by Musco Lighting.
Manny will host General Trask, and Kinder will travel to Mangum.
Class 1A Playoff Bracket, backed by GMFS Mortgage.
Oak Grove will host Homer, and Grand Lake will travel to East Iberville.
The Select Division I playoff bracket, brightened by Musco Lighting.
These games will be played at Northwestern State in Natchitoches from December 27th to December 30th. And here are the matchups. Catholic High will face C.E. Bird. De La Salle will face St. Thomas More. Lafayette Christian will face St. Charles Catholic. And Calvary will face Ouachita Christian.
Thanks so much to Skip and Charlie, as well as Will and Dustin and everyone gathering scores for us tonight and throughout the season here on the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Thanks to Go Preps, Hunter Bauer and Go Preps. Not only been a great resource for us all year long, but those beautiful helmet graphics that you're watching on TV, courtesy Go Preps.
Zachary Fire Department.
Ooh,
Thank you guys so much for hooking us up with some good pastelaia.
Mike Kimball and
yes. Thank you.
There must be something in the Baton Rouge
and
Fire Department. They know how to cook a
I
pastelaia.
taught him everything he knows about that. Look, if I can just get him to do a jambalaya, he's scared of fooling with that rice. But yeah, thank you, Mike Kimball, Zachary Fire Department, and Jordan Charlet. Those guys.
Is that a weekly thing they do?
Every week they do it, and they sell it for the Zachary Athletic Foundation. Raise a few $100s for the Zachary all sports, not just football, but. Yeah, they do that every home game.
That is incredible.
Not only that,
job.
they cook for their.
They do the chicken.
They
meal,
do
right?
the pregame meal for the team. They finish that, then they come back and start the pastelaia to sell at the ball games. Pretty impressive.
A lot of cooking. I know we are efforting a head coach, Jeff Wainwright from Grand Lake, which is an incredible story when you consider the odds they faced to start the season and the idea that they're now in the semifinals of Class 1A. I mean, it's just not something you would think this time of year, considering what's going through. But that game in particular, so you've got Grand Lake and their story. Then we got East Iberville, a team from around here.
What a story, East Iberville. Can we get Coach Joseph on the line?
I know we're efforting to.
So we're trying. Okay. Yeah. But when you look at 1A, Oak Grove obviously is they're the defending state champs. They're the favorite. They have been consistent all year long, been blowing teams out. You know, Ryan Creighton is their big running back. They have wins over Sterlington. They have wins over Ouachita Christian. Three straight games over 50 going into tonight, so that makes 4 straight. Ouachita Christian, Oak Grove is on a absolute roll right now. Homer has been kind of a surprise team as a 5. They have a big win over Haynesville. Going in, comes down here and beats a well-coached Mark Brown team at White Castle 18-13. Okay,
we got East Iberville.
We have East Iberville on tonight. East Iberville beats a traditional powerhouse in Haynesville.
Yeah.
David Franklin, Red Franklin. You go back in the days, that's one of the teams that you read about. And, you know, Ron Lejeune did a phenomenal job, 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know how many years ago it was.
Yep.
He went and turned that program around where they had lost. They were 0 forever. Right? And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Coach Joseph is really just taking it and going to the next level.
And then Coach Joseph comes in. This is his first year. And I think this is going to be the first semifinal appearance for East Iberville. And probably be our game of the week because that's the only local game in town next week.
Let's go ahead and bring on Coach Joseph, who is on the line with us. Coach, congratulations on the win. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be on.
You know, Jimmy brings up a good point. I didn't even think about it. How far this team has come, how far this program has come. When we even look back at the beginning of this select non-select situation to now, man, it's incredible to see a 2-seed East Iberville heading into that semifinals. Coach, I'm sure you're so proud.
Oh yeah, I'm very proud. Like you guys, I've seen it from afar. With the first playoff appearance they had, with the introduction of select, non-select, and then to actually see those guys win a game was real big for me. And just to have opportunity to be a part of that continual growth.
How's the community reacting?
the community is beginning to rally behind our kids. Like our little league coaches, they are community guys through and through, and they've been feeding those kids right to East Iberville and having them prepared to play football.
And that's
that
very
is
important.
so huge, because years past they would get on that ferry and they would go to St. John. They would go to the STEM school in Plaquemine. They would go to Dutchtown. They would find a way. They would come down here to U High. They would find other areas to go to, but to be able to keep those guys, and that's what we talked about earlier, Todd, walking the hallways and getting those guys to come out, because they've always had good players in that area.
Well, Coach,
there's no doubt you got to keep them at home.
Coach, when's the last time, if any, that East Iberville has been undefeated and in the semifinals?
Never. This is the first time.
Oh, you had one.
Had a loss to Ascension Catholic.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. But still, okay.
7-1 now.
Yeah, even at one loss to Ascension Catholic, those guys believed we could win that game. We were in the game, and unfortunately, our quarterback broke his arm, and who knows what would have happened in the second half if we have a healthy him in the game plan we already had set.
You had a decision to make with him being injured. You started playing another kid. I think your original starter was able to go tonight, but you stuck with the second guy. Talk about that decision.
Right, football is one of those things. Once you get a guy hot, it's real hard to pull that guy until he's not hot anymore, and it makes sense to play the other guy.
Did you play your original starter somewhere else?
Yes, we played him at receiver.
Right.
Try to get him in on some defensive reps.
Well, man, congratulations. You guys have done a really good job, and we're going to come probably out and see you next week, and hopefully y'all have a little sideline pass for us or something. So they let us in. They might get out of here.
I don't think East Iberville is going to be worried about 25%. If I'm in St. Gabriel, brother, I'm going to the ball game. It don't matter if 25%. We're gonna make it fit. They got a big area down there.
Oh yeah, no man. We'll try to make something happen for you guys. You guys are on my priority list.
Well, hey, y'all, did I read somewhere? Am I wrong? Are y'all about to get turf field soon?
Yes. Turf field is scheduled for next football season. They're going to start right after our football season is over with flipping it. And it's just amazing to see what's happening in our community. Like you guys said, finally to get some recognition, and it's big. The future looks bright.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time tonight. Season's not over yet. You guys still got a lot going on with that semifinal game next week. We appreciate your time tonight, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Guys, I guess, and I want to get to 2A here in just a second, but I forget, and I guess it's not that easy to forget that just a couple of years ago, they were on the opposite end of this.
Well, General Trash, too, and I know you're about to.
Opposite end of this.
They were scheduling, that was everybody's homecoming.
Right.
Ron Lejeune came in, got the guys walking the hall, and got the kids to stay there. And then, they've expanded on it this year with Justin Joseph getting to the semifinals for the first time ever. Yeah, they were the homecoming game. They were the game you scheduled that they could beat every time.
Yeah.
I mean, just incredible job by what's went on, not only this year, but this has been a building process. And, man, it's going to be really cool to see.
So, Coach, from Grand Lake?
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and jump back on the GMFS Mortgage Hotline and talk to the other side of that matchup, coincidentally enough, in Grand Lake's head football coach, Jeff Wainwright. Coach, thanks so much for your time tonight. Congratulations on this win.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank y'all for having us. Thank you for covering us.
Well, so I'm reading an article, and they talk about your time at Kinder, and you responded, I got lucky. I had a lot of great players and great coaches there. Then it's same thing, Sulphur. You said, I got lucky again. Well, I don't think you got lucky. I think there's a lot of chemistry going back since you got to go back home to Grand Lake and do this phenomenal job. And what a time to do it, especially for the community.
Yeah, listen, our community, if you take a ride down it, I mean, they're pushing houses to the ditch daily. One of our ball players' house went to the road as we were leaving town today, and it's heartbreaking. And then at the end of the game tonight, see our community just hugging and just seeing smiles and just true joy, and know you had a little bit to do with that as a coach or a teacher. And, you know, I'm excited that the parents were able to be happy for their boys and, you know, have a good night, you know, because we're struggling right now at the home life.
We're showing right now exactly where
that's what sports are for. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Coach, how far were the two hurricanes? Oh, we're showing something on Cox Sport, on CST right now. Yeah. Very close together.
The eye went straight over both eyes went over our high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I mean, we basically, you know, they have markers that had over 200-mile-an-hour winds for 30 minutes in Grand Lake.
So do you have facilities?
Sir?
Do you have facilities still standing?
Yeah, our school held up well. It's a brand new school, you know, very well constructed after Hurricane Rita. And so everything held up great on that end. Our football field on the other side, you know, our goalposts are kind of italicized. So I took a lick. Our lights are all messed up, you know, so we've been on the road. And I told the boys, you know, and I've always said it, hey, at 7:01, we're playing a parking lot. Let's just play ball. And
wow.
So we've always had that mentality, our coaching staff, about, you know, just let's go play ball somewhere, and that's good. But, you know, this year it's really taken to life because, you know, our home games, we're at Jennings High School right now. It's about an hour from Grand Lake. Coach Phelps, you know, opened his door to us, and, you know, we're grateful for that. But this is the time to just I tell my parents all the time, thank you for letting me coach. Thank you for letting me go to work because they can very easily keep their boys home, cleaning up, helping their neighbor, and they're doing all that. But it's been a wonderful year for our community to bond.
Unbelievable.
And the football is just bringing it all together.
Football's kind of a break for these kids, right, to get away from that craziness.
And I told that to them boys. I tell them that every Friday night. These are your 2.5 hours to take all the pain from your parents and all the things that they're going through and the hard conversations about insurances. And we're going to have enough money to rebuild at our current place. And, you know, there's a lot of tough decisions going on in the local, you know, in our individual households. And it's just it's good to see that the boys understand that and. You know, they're playing for their parents and they're playing for the pride of our community right now.
Well, Coach, we're going to send Musco Lighting down there. Our good friend Randy Alvarez. I don't know if he's been to your school. I know he's been out there, but Musco Lighting is the best in the business. They're the Sun Belt Conference, do the Superdome, Dallas Cowboy Stadium, all over. They've been in that area and they offer whatever you need to fix your lighting situation. We're gonna make sure we put you guys in touch with them.
Well, yeah. Any help you know you can assist us with, we appreciate it. And we're not looking for anything, but you know we ain't gonna turn down somebody who's been in the business and knows how to help people. But you know one of the things that I've learned through this whole deal is that none of us understand the damage how it happens until it hits your place.
Right. And
then we all need to do a little bit more next hurricane season when it hits East Louisiana, you know, whatever is going to happen. But, you know, all of Lake Charles and Cameron Parish has gotten a lot of help from the rest of the state. We're all really appreciative of it. And we're gonna return the favor if it comes about. You know, this is a bad year for storms. Hopefully we'll get a little break from it next year.
Coach, on a lighter note, when I texted you a minute ago, you said you had gone into a store. You took all them kids into a store and got them a drink?
We took a little pit stop to TNA there in Lafayette, breaking up our trip.
Wow.
Well, look.
That's unbelievable. That's an unbelievable story.
I texted him earlier, and I said, look, I'm looking at Centerville on the satellite. I don't see a school. I think you better be careful. He said, we're playing in a parking lot up in Centerville.
Unbelievable.
Well, it had a scoreboard, and it said Grand Lake 27, Centerville 6, and congratulations.
Yeah, it was a big night for our boys. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Coach. There you go. Grand Lake gets the win tonight. They advance to take on East Iberville.
Is that crazy?
Dude, we might have to
There's no
throw
words
a
for that.
tailgate party next week at East Iberville.
Man.
Louisiana Prep Scoreboard tailgate, feed all the fans. Might do that.
For Grand Lake?
Yes.
Yep. we can do
Kimball's
that.
got a big enough pit?
I have one for that. I have one.
I say it's a good idea. Meanwhile, Ben Love's asking about Mike's boudin or whatever when we're going to come to Billy's. Tell him I'll tell him we're coming.
Just an incredible story
It
there.
is,
And it involves you got a local team and their placement and what Grand Lake is going through. Let's take a timeout. When we get back, more scores as we continue quarterfinal, semifinal weekend, the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hour Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
This was us 20 years ago. Since then, we've grown to over 200 employees. We've helped over 100,000 people purchase, build, renovate, or refinance. Over $17 billion in loans. We make the mortgage process easy and convenient. Apply online or at one of our local branches. If you're looking to buy, build, renovate, or refinance, go to gmfsmortgage.com to see how we can help change your life today.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
You may not know about the 4 Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4 kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4 Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4 Kids helps kids through golf, because every child deserves a shot at a brighter future.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
The Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Class 5A Playoff Bracket, presented by Livingston Parish Councilman Gary Talbot.
Destrehan will travel to Acadiana, and West Monroe will travel to Alexandria.
Class 4A Playoff Bracket, pumped by Peak Performance.
Neville will travel to Carencro, and Warren Easton will travel to Edna Carr.
Class 3A Playoff Bracket, strengthened by Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Madison Prep will travel to Church Point, and Union Parish will host Lake Charles College Prep.
Class 2A Playoff Bracket, brightened by Musco Lighting.
General Trias will travel to Manny, and Kinder will travel to Mangum.
Class 1A Playoff Bracket, backed by GMFS Mortgage.
Homer will travel to Oak Grove, and Grand Lake will travel to East Iberville.
The Select Division I Playoff Bracket, brightened by Musco Lighting.
These games will be played at Northwestern State University from December 27th to December 30th. Here are your matchups. Catholic High will face C.E. Bird. De La Salle play St. Thomas More. Lafayette Christian will play St. Charles Catholic. And Calvary will play Ouachita Christian.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital.
The Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Voisin, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. I want to recognize our Musco Lighting Student Athlete of the Week. He comes to us from Zachary High School. Kinson Tate, two-sport athlete, not only football, but also runs track as well. Part of that 2020 football team, and he is a captain on this year's team. Wide receiver, 19 receptions, 396 yards, 3 touchdowns, 5 kickoff returns, averaging 35 yards, and a touchdown of 86 yards. Also on kickoff team, punt team, and designated block guy on field goals. 2-year starter, 3-year letterman for track. On that 2020 indoor track team, 100-meter finalist, part of the 4x200-meter relay state championship team. That was a runner-up, and the team was runner-up that year. 3.9 GPA, Beta Club, and National Honor Society. An overall awesome young man. Thanks so much to Coach David Brewerton for nominating Kinson Tate. He is our Musco Lighting Student Athlete of the Week. Congratulations on the Zachary Broncos. A tough loss tonight, but look, you replace a lot of parts on that team. You still got a very talented football team.
They'll be back.
There's no doubt. I mean, consider this. We talked about this in the pregame show. I want to get to some other stuff, but 8 straight quarterfinal appearances. I mean, just the
first year they won't be.
Consistency is so hard to come by, and you have a real consistent, good football team out there. Before we get any further, just to let our audience know the way things are working out with Select being on their semifinal night, we're going to spend a good portion of next Friday's show, which is our last scoreboard show of the year. We're going to get in touch with a lot of the Select schools who are going to be preparing for their state championship appearances in another week or so. And so we look forward to those conversations. Coach Gabe Fertitta, who won tonight. Is Coach Fertitta rocking like a playoff beard? I haven't noticed. I don't know if he went past the No Shave November and just kept going with
November's over yet.
Right.
Yeah, maybe not. Somebody might need to tell him.
We look forward to that.
What a big win for Catholic High over Brother Martin.
Well,
I'd
for
projected
a while,
this
man.
one. We thought it'd be a high-scoring game, and it was. Catholic High just gives you so many different guys that you have to prepare for. There's so many different people that touch the football.
Is George Hart the next line of those great running backs?
I haven't been.
He should be.
I haven't been big on their defense this year, and they're giving up more than what they're accustomed to. But offensively, they just have so many weapons and so many balls to share, and they're getting the job done on that side of it. And just hats off to Coach Fertitta, and they're going to play a Bird team in the state championship who defeats John Curtis 14-13 tonight. Coach Mike Subs been there for 20-something years as the head coach, 30-something overall. They're going to run some veer, a little bit of wing tee with it. It's a double slot type, Air Force, Navy type deal. Carson Bruno, the big defensive tackle, is committed to Louisiana Tech, I believe it is, Todd. 6'5", 290. He's going to be a force up front. And I got to say this, Todd Black does not hold the record for most handoffs anymore. Bird threw the football 37 times this whole year. So Todd lost his record.
It's a COVID year. It's an asterisk. I still got it.
Let me guys ask you a question from a coach's
and
standpoint.
we got Ben Love on too, by the way.
How much can you go back to a common opponent in the EA game that EA got to play against Bird this year? Can you get anything from a common opponent?
I don't think you can. And
I
another thing,
don't not at this point because they played like two totally different.
Yeah. You take John Curtis. They were playing with 3 quarterbacks. Their starter went out week 10. Played with a sophomore freshman the last couple of weeks. I don't know how that played out tonight. We do know Karen Crow blew out Plaquemine 81-14, Todd. something like that.
Yep.
Ben Love, give us some details.
12 touchdowns, guys, 12. 10 on the ground, 1 through the air, and a punt return. It was bloody early. Carencro gave up runs of 80 and 61 in the first quarter, and then tightened up defensively and completely after that. So I think there were some internal thoughts after Carencro beat DeRidder 35-7 last week that they didn't put their best foot forward. They wanted to prove a point tonight, and they did. That's a single-game record in program history, most points in a game for Carencro.
Coach, we have about 6 minutes left. Can we go through as many brackets with you as possible in these next 6 minutes?
Hit me.
We've pretty much covered 5A, 4A, 1A. We're going to move to 3A. Jennings, a loser over in your area to Madison Prep, a Baton Rouge team, 27-20. I thought a big upset tonight, honestly, even though numbers don't say it. Number 4, Church Point was a 14-7 winner over St. James. Lake Charles College Prep going to a double overtime win over Gina and Union Parish, who I think may be, they've played as consistent as anyone in any class all year long. Give me any thoughts on that bracket.
I think the Church Point win over St. James is maybe the biggest statement win that anybody had tonight. All due respect to General Trask, Grand Lake, and some of the other great stories, even Lake Charles College Prep in this bracket. That Church Point win is remarkable. St. James, your state champs last year, Coach Arsenault's Bears had never been to the quarterfinals before tonight. Now they're going to the state semifinals. They hadn't won a playoff game before 1990. It's amazing what they're waking up right now at Church Point. So you couldn't have a more different matchup either, in my opinion, with that Church Point Madison Prep game in the semis. So it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be kind of in our backyard over here in Acadiana. So I'm looking forward to it. I wouldn't be surprised if we had Church Point, Union Parish over in Natchitoches.
Think about all these little communities, like the Oak Groves, the Homers, Grand Lake. Gina it lost, but they were. That's what Church Point. That's what football is all about. All I think about is going down I-10 or I-20 and looking off the side and seeing the lights in the distance. That's what I think about. High school football.
Union Parish, Trey Holly, going into tonight. I do not have his. Yeah, dude, 2,199 yards and 37 touchdowns. What I worry about is if it gets to a final game, is the wear and tear on the young man. He's got 37 touchdowns, but he is carrying it a ton.
It's not like he's getting tackled a whole hell of a lot.
No, he's not getting tackled a whole lot. Manny 30 in 2A. Manny 34-30 winner over Avmeek. Very close game. Manny advances by 2 straight forfeits to get to the quarters. They'll advance to play General Trask, which was a 42-18 winner over St. Helena. That's not a surprise. St. Helena was a week 4 seed. Kinder Loreauville over in your area, 2 overtimes. Kinder comes out on top, and Mangum as a number 2 seed advances over Port Allen.
Going to the next bracket, he said no 2A.
No 2A? He has to know something.
What are you
about
doing
Kinder.
at 4:30 in the morning?
He has to know something about Kinder.
Look, hey, I'll tell you this. I've been a big Terry Martin fan for quite some time.
Yes.
Even when he was at Bro Bridge. So for his Tigers to lose tonight in double OT is a heartbreaker, but to see where he's taking Loreauville in short order is pretty impressive.
And we were familiar with him from playing against him when we were coaching at Redemptress when he was at Cecilia, had the Green Bay Packer uniforms and very well coached team. So let's can we get to Division One? We just talked a little bit about that.
St. Thomas More,
St. Thomas
and
More, and St. Thomas More with a big win over U High.
Were you surprised how close that was?
I'm sorry?
Were you surprised how close that was?
You know what, I was. And frankly, from what I understand, U-High kept the football for almost all of the third quarter. They went on a 99-yard drive, recovered an onside kick after that. So I think they were able to shorten the game. And from there, from everything that I've heard so far, St. Thomas More was able to just kind of go into preservation mode in the fourth quarter. So great coaching job by Coach Martin and company coming from U-High. And I think that this is a St. Thomas More team that's not their best over the last couple of years. But I'll tell you, it's got a chance to be the first undefeated group they've had, and this will be their first repeat if they can pull it off too.
And U-High had 3 defensive shutouts, haven't given up more than 14 points since week 1 when they lost 27-7 against Catholic High. They're a young team. They're going to be back next year and may be the team to beat in Division II. If we can move to Division III over.
Let me ask real quick. Did Sage Ryan play tonight for Lafayette Christian?
Sage Ryan did not play tonight, no.
Okay, and we're at Division III right now. Lafayette Christian, a 21-7 winner over number 1 Newman. We kind of expected that. Newman's made great strides. They have not made it to the finals. I think they've made it to 7 semifinals, if I'm not mistaken. They haven't got over that hump to get to the finals, but they've made strides. They've gotten bigger, better, stronger up front. Lafayette Christian's just too much.
God, that division's brutal, though.
It is. It absolutely is. And then St. Charles surprised me with a win tonight over Notre Dame. I honestly thought Notre Dame would win that by a couple touchdowns.
Look, it's absolutely a brutal division, but there's still going to be a gap, I think, between the best team and the rest. And that's no disrespect to Notre Dame, St. Charles, or any of them. But even with a freshman quarterback and even without Sage Ryan, there's a gap between LCA and the rest of them. I mean, this is an LCA team that's played with Acadiana for crying out loud the last 2 years. So I expect them to get to Natchitoches and take care of St. Charles. I'm not telling you it's going to be a blowout. I like their chances.
Ben Love of 103.7 The Game. His appearances each and every week brought to us by Billy's. Ben, we appreciate your time, man. Look forward to chatting next week.
Even when I'm as tired as I am now, you got me thinking about Boudin, and that's good.
Always go to Billy's, no doubt.
Hey, the Neville guys get in touch with you? They gave me a number.
Heard from him yet.
Okay, I'll get them.
All right, appreciate it, Coach.
All right, babe.
All right, just 30 seconds to go. We got one more show to go this season, guys. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Let's hope the weather holds out. You got a couple of rematches in the Division III. You got LCA and St. Charles. St. Charles defense is giving everybody fits, and you have De La Salle STM as a rematch.
For Danny, Ryan, Charlie, Will, Skip, Dustin, and the whole crew, Jimmy, Todd, and Cade. We'll see you next week. Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and